Do you hear me now? Victor? Victor, are you there?
Grigori? Yes.
¿Cómo sabe mi número?
Victor, where are you?
On the other end of the line, at home, where the telephone rang.
Muy buenas, cracks, y sed bienvenidos a mi canal. Estamos de vuelta en este de Thaumaturge, ¿vale? El Thaumaturgo. Íbamos, si os acordáis, al funeral de nuestro padre, ¿vale? Y en eso estábamos. Teníamos gente aquí, pues, para investigar y estas cosas. Vale, tenemos que ir para allá, pero yo voy a ir viéndolo todo. Tumba. Muy bien. Destrozada. Ir por ahí. Yo voy mirando cositas porque esto me va dando experiencia. Hay que ir para allá, pero yo voy a ir mirando tumbitas. Me da experiencia y obviamente necesito experiencia. Me hacen ir por ahí, pero yo paso olímpicamente. Tengo un puntito de experiencia. Hola. Igual debería ir por aquí a ver esto. Igual no. Pero igual sí. Vale, ok, volvemos. ¿Qué pasa, buen hombre?
I'm sure you don't remember me. My name's Hayat, Mordecai Hayat. I wanted to offer my condolences.
Thank you.
Please, forgive my prying. I know Mr. Shulsky took nitroglycerin for his heart, but how did he pass away? Was that his cause of death? His heart?
Decir que no sabes la causa de la muerte de tu padre. Bromear diciendo que tu padre no tenía corazón. Respuesta orgullosa. Preguntar por qué está tan interesado. A ver, tengo que alimentarlo, ¿no? Una respuesta muy orgullosa. No solo le afecta al nivel de tu marca del orgullo, también la alimentará más. Es lo suyo, ¿no?
We've ruled out any coronary causes since
Al hacer eso aumentará.
confirm whether the deceased had a heart.
Yes, I understand. My condolences, once again. I'll leave you alone. I'm sure you want to bid farewell to your father.
Supongo que tenemos que alimentar estas cosas, ¿no? Entiendo. ¿Cuánta gente conocía a mi padre?
I knew you'd turn up.
I wouldn't miss this for the world.
Stasha loved you in his own way. You look well. Ligia said he found some quack healer.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
You don't recognize me, do you? But do you remember who taught you how to shoot starlings?
Uncle Voronin, I'm sorry.
Don't worry, I probably wouldn't recognize myself anymore. Go look in on your sister, she's worried. We'll talk at home.
Está nuestra hermana.
Sister?
Victor. I'm so glad you came. I wasn't sure if my telegram had reached you.
I'm glad too. How are you holding up?
All this caught me off guard, but for now I don't have time to think things through calmly.
Have you written to Mother?
Yes, but what can you expect? You know what Nadia is like. It was never her style to show up for family events like this. It's getting late, and we've still got the reading of Papa's will ahead of us at home. and I'll leave you two alone. I suppose you've got your own matters to clear up.
Vale. Quedarte para despedirte de tu padre. Dejar eso para más tarde.
Fine, let's get this over with. So, it was me who got it right in the end. Back then, on the train platform.
Igual ahora muerto lo
Last
vemos.
time we
Algo,
saw
¿no?
one another. 15 years ago.
Marcharse. Ya te has despedido. Leer el obituario en voz alta.
After brief suffering, fell asleep in the Lord. Brief? I hope not. Did you write this yourself? A tyrant, bigot, and liar, mistakenly absorbed, died after suffering all too briefly. That's better. Definitely closer to the truth.
Despedirse de corazón. Mencionar el sueño que tuviste cuando te hipnotizó Rasputin. Despedirse de corazón. Va, al final es tu padre.
I'm sorry there are so many things I didn't get to say to your face. All those years, I said them over and over to myself in my head. How you were never able to admit a mistake. You never sought blame in yourself. Someone else was always guilty, never you. Mother because she wanted something for herself in life. Ligia because she wasn't born a boy. Me because I was born a Thaumaturge, but I didn't want to live following your principles. And now...
Vamos a mencionar lo del sueño, tú, que parece importante.
The day you died, you visited me in my dreams. I was a child when you hounded me out of here, and I remember you as you were back then. But in my dream you looked older. You gave me hell as usual. You didn't believe I'd succeed. You were wrong. I've come back with 2 saluters.
Venga. Listo.
Farewell, father.
Casualidad que acabo y
Am
llega
I
este.
intruding?
Respuesta muy orgullosa. Decirle que ha interrumpido tu momento de reflexión. No hace falta, ¿no? Preguntarle cuánto tiempo ha estado escuchando. Averiguar qué quiere.
What do you want?
Well, what do people come to funerals for?
Sí, claro.
I came to pay my respects to the dead. Stanisław and I were acquainted. You might say I knew everything about your father. Mr. Victor Szulski, isn't it?
¿Qué te ha pasado en la cara, amigo?
Your absence from Warsaw has happily come to an end, I hope.
Admitir que aún no te has decidido. Decir que no te vas a quedar por aquí mucho tiempo. Dejarle claro que no es asunto suyo. Venga.
With all due respect, this is my personal business. It was my father who knew you, not me.
True. Please forgive me. I meant no harm.
No te preocupes, es para alimentar al salutor.
My condolences.
I didn't catch your name.
My name's Kaniechkin. Ivan Kaniechkin. Goodbye.
Recuerda ese nombre porque va a volver, ¿eh? Va a volver.
Such interesting friends.
Sí, estoy flotando, ¿eh? No me siento en el... Estoy sobrevolando el asiento, tú, donde estaba sentado.
I guess I'm more tired than I thought.
No, algo hay, porque llegaste en el tren y te pasó lo mismo. Y ahora aquí te vuelve a pasar. Ajá. Sospechoso. Venga, vamos a ver. La soltera
Great-grandmother Josefina, a Thaumaturge.
Oh, era una taumaturga. Ojo.
Grandpa Nikodem, a Thaumaturge. I barely remember him.
Ojito, que vengo de una familia de taumaturgos. Menos mi padre. Por eso me odiaba mi padre. Vale, a ver. ¿Qué tengo que hacer? Ve a la casa de tu familia en el sur del barrio de Sensei. Se supone que ya... Los pelos de mi gato es que se me meten en la nariz, tío. Son un engorro. Hey, colega. Es que si me dejo algo, tío. Estoy con la duda, sí. Hey, ¿qué pasa?
We can go. The hardest thing was getting rid of the urn. The scattering I could handle.
You can play the clown, but I know how much this has cost you. I'm glad you went.
Love at a funeral. Eros post-mortem. Is it suitable for a young lady in mourning to fraternize with bachelors? Konstancja Shabłowska, the Warsaw Courier. Could I ask for a brief comment?
Hyena.
Thank you. And you, sir?
Pregúntale a Liga si quiere que intervengas. No quieres causarle problemas a ellas. Decirle que eres el hermano de Liga.
I can sort it out, but it might cause you some trouble.
It's not worth getting your hands dirty over.
Get out of here, or I might decide you're attacking an Imperial official, and you'll wake up tomorrow in the city.
Ojito, este ha ido
Are you threatening me, Judge?
por la tangente.
I'm actually sparing you from him. Would you rather try your luck with a Thaumaturge?
Ahí está, claro.
Come on,
Publícalo.
I'm sure my Pietia is already waiting for us at home.
I'd love to see my cousin.
Are you coming with us?
Decirle que quieres estar a solas. Sí, venga, va.
Thanks.
Vamos con la
Get in.
familia. La familia.
I'm
La
sure the
familia
lawyer is already waiting for us.
hay que conservar, siempre. Hay que cuidarla. Aparte que es la misión, ¿eh? Atravieso. A ver. Ahora no me voy a poner a investigar, ¿eh? Ya si toca en algún momento hacer algo, pues... A ver, ¿desaparecen? No, están esperando a que hable yo la... Abra yo la...
Miss, your guests have arrived.
Otro
The
puntito,
lawyer's
muy bien.
upstairs
Van
too,
dos.
waiting. A trifle jittery. Wonder if the tea I made him was too strong.
Thank you, Grażyna, dear. Let the guests wait. First, I want to take care of the will.
I'll just wet my whistle and join you all upstairs.
Make sure Uncle makes it upstairs sober. And I'll suggest you don't dawdle either.
A ver el testamento si la vamos a liar. Estas cosas...
Master Victor, good God! Half your face covered, but I could tell right away it was you. You look just like your father in his youth. Completely his spitting image. Should I make you some cocoa, Master? It would warm you up a little.
Decirle que no se preocupe. Decirle que haga chocolate para Ligia.
Make an extra creamy one for Ligia.
Oh, I won't skimp on her. Now, your sister's putting a brave face on all this, but she's really having a hard time. It's lovely to see you again. But that's enough jabber for now. I've got the guests and the cocoa, and I've got to whip up some food for you all later. We'll talk soon.
Ok. Ya investigo yo mi casita, ¿vale? Le puedo subir para arriba, puedo venir aquí, a ver. Ojito con mi casa, ¿eh? Claro, esto es herencia mía, ¿no? Entiendo. Ahora hablaremos, ahora hablaremos. Es tiempo de hablar. Sótano, ya iremos al sótano. A ver, vamos a mirar todas estas cosillas que me dan experiencia. Y ahora empezaremos a hablar. Receta de licor. Vale. Ok. Venga, vamos a hablar con este.
Oh, I'm glad you're here. I thought I'd have to drink alone.
Hostia. No.
So many goodies laid out for the guests. Having trouble picking something for yourself, Judge?
Pues.
But this was Stasios. It was special. Amber liqueur with quinces.
I think you mean quince liqueur with amber, right? If it's not here, I'm sure it's in the basement.
Vale, pues ya
But
está.
I won't grope around down there in the dark now.
Voy a tener que ir
I've
yo.
got my hands full.
Voy a tener que ir yo.
Now, I don't want to trouble you either. Victor, Could you track down a little bottle for your uncle?
Yes, pero más
I
tarde.
suppose I'm obligated to accept this mission.
Good lad. A nephew like you.
En el sótano hay monstruos. Siempre. Siempre. O sea que habrá un salutor, ¿no? En el sótano. Vale, tenemos que ir al sótano, ¿eh? Vamos a ir a hablar con este.
I don't want to put my foot in my mouth again. I already failed to recognize someone once today, but you look familiar.
Well, I should think so. I was the victim of one of your starling hunts. Voronins must not be very memorable, cousin.
Kietia! Forgive me, and for shooting you as well. How are you doing?
Just some heart problems, not a subject for today. I'm sorry about Uncle Stanislav. Forgive me for not coming to the funeral. I can't bear cemeteries.
We'll have to meet up again.
Goodbye.
Vaya charla de mierda. Perdón. ¿Y este? Ah, es un niño. Bueno, vamos a dejarlo. Ve a la sala de estudio de tu padre para comenzar la lectura del testamento. Vamos a ir aquí. Vamos a ir al sótano. Uy, hay una cosa ahí para examinar. Vale. Esta no será nuestra madre, ¿no? Ah, pues sí. Tengo que buscar lo que ha dicho la botella esta, ¿no? A ver. Ah, vale, que es que cambio con esto. Vale, vale, vale. Amigo. Amigo. Lo estaba haciendo mal todo el rato, por favor. Licor de membrillo con ámbar. Una botella pequeña, bla, bla, bla. La botella emite el dulce aroma de membrillo y la alegría por esperar un encuentro con un ser querido. Es una bebida que une a las personas y alegra las penas de la vida diaria. Un elemento fundamental de un ritual que dos viejos amigos disfrutaban con ganas. Voronin. Vale. Aquí está. La botella. El vino tiene el olor de los melocotones. Manzanas y un cierto. Y un cierto ápice de seguridad de que está comenzando a formarse una relación romántica entre dos personas. Una bebida que disfrutan los más adinerados que regalan las mujeres a los hombres. Nada por aquí, tíos. Una botella de vino tinto. La incapacidad de decir palabra alguna debido a las sorpresas aferra a la botella. Ligia. He enlazado algo aquí. Cada botella de la bodega de los Sulski contiene alcohol de calidad. El tío Voronin no negaría ninguna de ellas. Supone que la he cogido, ¿no? Consigue una botella del sótano para tu tío. Ya está, ¿no? A ver, tengo 2 puntitos, un momento. Igualo todo esto. Sería lo suyo, ¿no? Yo creo que sí. ¿Qué ojo esta? No es mala, ¿eh? Vale, puedo seguir con estos y con estos, vale, necesito salutor. Vámonos. Vale, estamos ahí, pero yo voy a ir aquí a ver esto, que me da experiencia. Venga, un semblante, muy bien. Plaza verde. Jardín. Bueno, supongo que tendré que salir en algún momento al jardín. Y a los otros sitios, o sea que...
How did it go? Mission accomplished?
¡Ostras! Dale la botella de licor. Darle la botella de vino rojo. Darle la botella de vino blanco. Marcharse. Hostia, hostia, hostia. Espérate.
You'll have to wait a moment yet, uncle.
Espera, espera, espera. Inventario, aquí. Esta... Es la que me pedía, era la de membrillo, ¿no? Licor de membrillo con ámbar. Me acuerdo de esto, un líquido ámbar hecho siguiendo una receta de... Se trata de una auténtica bebida gourmet. Vale, los papelotes estos, muy bien. O sea, tengo Pinot Noir de Oregón, vino tinto, vino blanco y el resto, ¿no? Tengo que darle el resto. Es lo que buscaba él, el ámbar, ¿no?
Mission accomplished?
Vino tinto, botella de licor.
I think this is the one Uncle wanted.
Yes. This is our little funeral battle. We would meet in
Pedazo de
Stash's
botella, ¿no?
study after every funeral we went to and raised a toast to the dead. And recently, we've been seeing one another more and more at such events. More and more. But this time, even he has left me. So, to an easy death, as Stasio and I used to say.
How did he die?
Hasn't Lygia told you?
I haven't even had the chance to ask.
He didn't suffer, but such images in the memory are better saved for later. I'd prefer to remember him as he was alive.
A
What
ver si me voy a
then?
emborrachar.
Am I drinking alone?
Proponer tu propio brindis. Hacer un brindis en silencio. Brindar por una muerte fácil. Venga, va.
May the ground be soft, Father. I'm not betting there's an afterlife.
Venga.
Well, obligation fulfilled. Shall we get to the reading of the will?
Decirle que necesitas un poco más de tiempo. Preguntar acerca de A ver.
At the funeral, there was this sad Jewish fellow, Mordechai Hayat. Do you know him, Uncle?
He worked for Stanisław, but that was a long time ago. I don't know him more than that. So, shall we collect our inheritance?
Decirle que necesitas un poco más de tiempo.
You'll all have to wait for me a moment yet.
All right, but hurry up.
Vale, voy a ver si no me he dejado nada. Oh, ¿qué es esto? Beber un poco de licor. No. Vale, hemos ido aquí. Podemos salir al jardín. No, voy a ir para arriba. Yo creo que ya lo hemos mirado todo. Tenemos que ir a algún sitio luego. ¿No? Tendremos que salir de aquí. Supongo que podré ir al jardín. No creo que estemos aquí investigando constantemente. Foto seria. Ojo un puntito. Ah, porque está en el otro lado. Esto está en el otro lado. A ver, ¿me puedo cambiar de ropa? ¿En serio? ¡Ojo! Si quieres cambiarte de ropa, usa el armario. Puedes conseguir más ropa si visitas al sastre. Ok. Vale, solo tengo ese. Solo tengo lo que llevo, ¿no? Vale, ok. Tendré que visitar al sastre. Costará pasta, supongo, ¿no? A ver, vamos a ver aquí qué hay. A ver. Mensajes de madre. Bien. Carta que escribí en Roma, Julio. Muy bien. Gaceta polaca, edición matutina. Seguro que todo esto, o sea, da información buena, ¿eh? Pero ya sabéis que yo me pongo a leerlo todo. Os lo dejo aquí. Los que sí que os gusta todo esto. A ver, que a mí también me gusta, pero se pierde mucho tiempo. Ojo. Mi última voluntad, escrita en el año del Señor. No tendrá nada que ver esto, ¿no? Ahora. A ver si ahora me van a preguntar alguna cosilla. Y tengo que... Joder. Ah, que lo mira desde arriba. Retrato de familia Sulski. ¿Yo soy ese? Tiene toda la pinta, ¿no? ¿Quién ha abierto la caja fuerte? Cuánto cabrón aquí,
I am ready, Mr. Shulsky. I only need all of you to be present. Can we start reading your father's will?
Dejarles esperar más. ¿Estará ya? O sea, si digo que sí, ¿está ya mi tío?
Yes, let his will be done. Again.
Let's begin if everyone is ready. Would you all please take a seat?
A ver qué ha escrito.
Ladies and gentlemen, by the power of my office vested in me by the grace of His Imperial Majesty, the Emperor of all Russia, I hereby testify. Mr. Shulsky's last will and testament were prepared several years ago in the presence of Zaslav Fedorov, Esquire, that is, myself. My last will and testament recorded in the year of our Lord 1888. In the name of the Holy Trinity. Amen.
Dile que sea directo. Venga, va. Escuchar al notario.
Therefore, my first irrevocable wish is to appoint as executrix of this will my daughter, Ligia Shulska. Immediately after my death, an inventory shall be conducted in full accordance with the law. After completing the inventory, all my personal movables will be sold at public auction. And let the funds raised thereby be donated on the anniversary of my death to the beggars near that cemetery. The administration of the remainder of my fortune I leave, without restriction, to the person of my daughter, Ligia.
I'm not even getting a teaspoon.
All movables and immovables relating to the family enterprise I entrust to the care and administration of my daughter. I do not prescribe a method of administering them. I merely offer her one piece of advice. I wish that the business should be conducted with modesty, prudence, and honesty, as I have conducted it my whole life.
A joker to the very end.
To my brother-in-law and oldest friend, Alexander Voronin, I wish to leave the following: my collection of muskets and 2 revolvers, dating to the uprising in memory of our first meeting.
Stasio, I will have plenty to do in my retirement.
Enjoy your retirement.
Darles la enhorabuena a ambos y decirles que esperarás en la cocina. Esperar al final de la ceremonia, preguntar si tu madre ha obtenido algo.
Now, Mr. Fedorov, what did my father leave my mother?
Victor, be serious.
Nothing. There is a special item reflecting the absolute lack of any bequest to my former spouse, Nadia Fyodorovna Voronina.
Venga, vamos a esperar.
I would also like to come to the aid of my only son, Viktor Shulsky, by entrusting him with the use of my personal black grimoire, in the hope that he will be able to make good use of it. This is my last will and testament. Carry it out solemnly,
pues eso va a ser chulo,
though you may have found it burdensome. However, this last bequest poses a certain problem.
Yes, it certainly does. And what is that, may I ask?
I am not in possession of this grimoire. The late Mr. Shulsky used it up until his death, yet no one left it with me after his passing.
Meaning it's disappeared?
A que también era taumaturgo él. Yo creía que no.
Did father have his grimoire on him at the time of his death?
It was only because of the grimoire that we could identify him at all.
What actually happened? How did he die?
A building collapsed on top of him. I don't know any other
Algo
way of
chungo
putting
pasó,
it.
¿eh? Claro. Averiguar dónde ocurrió esto. A ver, preguntar sobre el grimorio desaparecido.
The grimoire. Could someone have taken it?
Perhaps, in all that confusion.
But why would anyone want Papa's grimoire? An ordinary person won't use it. Would the Thaumaturge just happen to be passing by?
Father had all his knowledge in there, but I don't know if it would be useful to someone other than him. I don't even know why he left it to me.
I'm sure Stasio had a reason.
Vale, aquí viene esa típica trama en la que tú crees que tu padre es un cabrón de tres pares, que no te ha dejado nada, que siempre ha sido muy recto, muy chungo hacia ti. Y él tenía sus razones y que van a ser buenas en el fondo, ¿no? Tiene pinta, ¿no?
A building? It collapsed on top of him? How? How did this happen?
O sea, algo tuvo que invocar o estaba luchando contra
Papa
alguien.
had gone for his habitual walk. Every Tuesday and Thursday, he'd take a stroll to get some space, as he put it. When he didn't come back for a long time, I got the bad feeling something had happened. Then...
We rode there together. An entire wall of a tenement had collapsed. There were 3 victims, including Stasio, who had the bad luck to simply be walking by. To
Pasaba
see
por ahí.
him there in that condition, it's beyond description.
Venga, ¿dónde ocurrió? Que vamos a
Where did
ver.
it happen? Where was this building?
The southern part of Śródmieście, not far from the police station. Anyway, you can miss it.
Of all the possibilities, this was the death that fate prepared for him.
Enfatizar el hecho de que el karma siempre actúa. Decir que ni siquiera él merecía esto. Vamos a ganar.
He died as he lived, miserably. He couldn't have met a more fitting end after what he did to me. What he did to the Niedzic's family.
You've got to know that Papa felt guilty. Even if he didn't say so outright. I'm not going to defend him, but I can't criticize him either. Even I don't know what really happened back then with Aventura.
An accident is what happened, and Father treated 2 kids like the worst disgraces in the world. As if it had been premeditated.
When a person dies so suddenly, their unfinished business remains. We'll never learn what Stasio carried in his heart.
What do you intend to do?
Pinta que va por ahí, ¿eh? Preguntar acerca de Mordechai Chatag. Venga, va, vamos a ir.
And Mordechai Hayat. Could that be a lead?
I don't think so. He worked with Father, but he left more than a year ago. I don't know why. He was an assistant at our, well, my store.
Do you know where I might find him?
Sadly, no.
Do you have any other ideas?
Father evidently knew a certain Ivan Konieczkin. Have you heard anything about him?
Este es el que nos ha visitado en la morgue, ¿no?
No, doesn't ring the bell.
All sorts of people came to Papa's store. That doesn't mean every one of them might know something about the grimoire.
That's true. You've got your work cut out for you.
Admitir que el edificio es un...
I think we have to look for the answer in the place where it happened.
With your sight, you can make out more in those ruins than I, or Uncle, or Detective could. This is a good lead, but is it the only one?
And where are Father's things at the moment?
You're standing at the very center of his kingdom. Not everything has been sorted through yet, but you go right ahead.
And the store? I should check that too.
I've started stock-taking there to distract myself, and I don't want you to go in there before I've finished.
As you wish.
Venga.
Now at least I can see how little I know. Maybe these scraps of information will lead me somewhere.
Well, now that we know what's got to be figured out, forgive me, my darlings. I'm going to give my old bones a rest.
I'll. I'll see you out.
Goodbye, Uncle. And, Ligia. I'm sorry it happened this way. That I wasn't close by.
The most important thing is you're here now.
Ahí la llevas. Vale, venga, va. Vamos a ponernos a investigar. Descubre cómo fueron los últimos momentos de padre. Ojo. Que dejamos atrás. Tenemos un montón de cosas. Vamos a ver esto. Pen. A ver si van a haber derechos de autor, tú. El corazón humano vale más que todas las riquezas del mundo. Vale. El mensaje solo parece ser corto. De hecho, en la caligrafía se distinguen un pulso acelerado motivado por un cariño contenido hacia el destinatario. La tinta contiene un especial cariño y una calidez que han permeado profundamente en el papel. Mujer misteriosa. Vale, ok. Hay una mujer misteriosa. Ahora voy contigo, ¿vale? Me parece muy importante lo que me quieres decir. Libros, ¿vale? Stanislav. Padre leía detenidamente las páginas amarillentas una y otra vez, repitiendo las mismas palabras una y otra vez, como un mantra. Como tratando de extraer algún significado de ellas. ¿Qué significa esto? La arena del desierto aún se encuentra presente en la maleta. Desde que padre viajó a África, solía planear futuros viajes a regiones desconocidas del mundo material en busca de lo que oculta el velo de la realidad. El semblante demoníaco se viste con la esperanza que se aferró a él y con la satisfacción que pronto le siguió. Parece que padre tenía planes para Shurale, los cuales consiguió llevar a cabo. Por aquí. Voy a ir otra vez arriba. Que sí, que ya lo sé, Ahí hay algo. Vale. Ahí estamos. Los grimorios de los ocultistas históricos rebosan de curiosidad paternal. Las páginas gastadas y llenas de anotaciones en los márgenes indican un uso frecuente. Padre exploró los misterios de la demonología, expandiendo sus horizontes mientras su corazón latía con emoción. Con esto y un bizcocho, la mente de padre lleva un tiempo ocupada en la búsqueda de conocimiento que rozan lo obsesivo. Parecen relacionados con algo mucho más allá que su curiosidad por el mundo, cosa por la que lo recuerdo. Estaba buscando algo cazando salutors, explorando los misterios de la taumaturgia. Lo único que no sé es a dónde lo condujo todo eso. Venga, va. ¿Qué me quieres decir? Upir.
How do you find our old stomping ground? Yes, I'm not too fond of this place either. This is where I had my last conversation with my father, just before I left. If you can call it a conversation. Can you see my dreams? Nightmares, actually. Ever since I decided to come back, I keep reliving the same memory. The loan shark incident. I've been seeing his death more and more lately. I wonder if his shop is still there. Perhaps we should go there and check.
En unas conversaciones, tú. Descubre cómo fueron los últimos momentos. Vale. Tengo que irme para allá entonces. A ver, aquí... Ojo, hay cosas que no he visto. ¿En serio? Me han quitado el sueño, el hambre. Me han quitado la vida, Ligia. Te suplico que pongas fin a mi agonía, por favor. ¿Pueden haber más cosas? ¿En serio? Es que no me fío, tíos. No me fío ya de dejarme algo. Entiendo que aquí voy a volver. Que si puedo cambiarme de ropa es que voy a volver. Uy, el teléfono. A ver quién es. ¿Aló? Uy, no había teléfono. ¿Lo habéis visto?
Hello?
I talk here? Do you hear me now? Victor? Victor, are you there?
Grigori? Yes.
¿Cómo sabe mi número?
Victor, where are you?
On the other end of the line, at home, where the telephone rang.
Incredible.
Decirle que es tarde. Descubrir cómo ha conseguido tu número. Exacto.
How did you know I have a telephone at home?
Something's interrupting you, Victor. I am telecommunicating with you to say I found lodgings here in Warsaw. If you need me, I'm by the cemetery. What number is it? Yes, 7 Povaskowska.
Esto es porque aquí hay un salutor y me va a tener que
7
ayudar.
by cemetery, Povaskowska.
I'm glad. It's good to hear your voice.
It's good to hear you as well. Goodbye. I want to end now. What do I... like this? Wonderful device. Remarkable. Hello? Oh, and now?
Vale. Tengo que ir para allá, ¿vale? Voy a pegarme un voltio porque no me fío, ¿vale? ¿Veis? Ah, beber chocolate caliente, venga. A beber chocolate. Secreto de viaje, hacía falta un solo. De pronto Ligia está leyendo un libro frente al fuego y apila. Ah, bueno, son, vale. Mostrar. Ojo que hay aquí otra vez. A ver, vamos a hablar con esta.
Master Victor.
Fíjate, se te puede escapar muchas cosas aquí, ¿eh? Pedir algo más fuerte, pedir una taza de chocolate, marcharse.
Another time, Grazinka. I'll get out of your way.
Always ample work, but I can always snatch a moment for a chit-chat with you, Master.
Voy a llevar... bueno, no. Voy a dejar esto porque es que no sé. Beber un poco de licor. Vayamos a emborracharnos. Vayamos a liarla. Y no puede ser. Así que vamos a venir para aquí. No. Aquí hay algo. ¿Loro?
Have you found anything yet about the grimoire? Is there any way I can help?
Preguntar sobre la esencia de una mujer que encontraste en el estudio, vale. Preguntar sobre la empresa.
What's next for you? You're in charge here now. Have you got some kind of grand scheme?
A grand scheme? Oh, for now, I'm just trying to keep my head above water. Certain customers are unconvinced that a woman can handle running a business. What's worse, a woman without powers. You know what I mean. A thaumaturge at my side would shut them all up. After all, it's your heritage too.
Hacerse el loco, negarse. Tú no quieres esto, asegurarle que puede... Claro que sí.
I don't know anything about running a company, but if I can help in any way, you can count on me.
Thank you. That means a lot to me.
¿Recordará? Ligia no lo olvidará, claro que sí. Vale. Comentar su extraño sueño, comentar el hecho de que está fumando. Venga, va.
You used to detest the smell of tobacco. You'd hold your breath going into Father's study.
That's true, but when I'd stay here alone with Papa, and somehow over the years I got used to it.
Fumar.
I don't know when I started copying him even.
Daddy's girl. You were always closer to him.
That's not true. I was just less rebellious than you.
Nuestro padre sabía que éramos un negado para los negocios. Y ella era la lista. Por lo tanto, para ella los negocios, para ti el grimorio, que eres un gran taumaturgo y él lo sabía.
The trousers are an original style. Until now, I'd only seen women in trousers in the East.
First of all, they're practical. It's the 20th century. It's high time we started dressing comfortably.
Admitir que es valiente, decir que ese estilo no te dice nada.
You've always been brave, never afraid of anything or anybody. Like when Mother almost had a fit because you dumped my best tie in hot cocoa.
I didn't care that she was angry. I wanted to get you back for not wanting to play with me.
Because you were being too annoying.
You meant to say brave. By the way, Grażyna still makes cocoa every evening. You
Ya lo he
can
hecho.
conjure up the
Ya lo he hecho,
flavor
ya lo he
of
hecho.
childhood if you want.
Ya lo he hecho.
Is there anything else you want to talk about?
Comentar el hecho que está jugando preguntarle sobre esencias.
In Father's study, I found a trace of a woman that I couldn't identify.
Probably Svetlana Rumyantseva.
Averiguar dónde podría estar.
Who is she? And what does Father have to do with her?
Svetlana is a Russian aristocrat who travels with the Romanovs' court. I can only tell you she was a customer of Father's.
A customer? If you don't want to say, then don't. Where can I find her?
When she's in town, she stays at the Imperial Hotel.
She might know something that will help me find the grimoire.
Not so fast. To get in, you're going to need me and my connections. Svetlana is famous for her soirees where she hosts the crème de la crème of Warsaw.
Dejar que hable.
We could go together. How about you track down some evening clothes and I'll sort out the invitation. And I won't take no for an answer.
Sadly, you never give me a chance. Unfortunately, everything in my wardrobe is antediluvian. I need a tailor.
There's a shop at 11 Pruzhna Street that's fairly decent and quick. We also have barbers in Warsaw in case you want to do something about whatever you have growing on your head and face.
Sí, podríamos cambiar de estilo. Ve al sastre, visita al barbero. Vale, tenemos que ir a los dos sitios. Ok, pues lo vamos a dejar aquí, cracks. ¿Por qué me deja hablar otra vez con ella? Lo vamos a dejar aquí.
Yes?
A ver. Comentar el hecho que está a marcharse.
I'll get going.
Un like si os ha gustado el capítulo de hoy, si os está gustando la serie. Espero vuestros comentarios para que me digáis el qué. Habilidades las pondremos el próximo día. Y nos quedamos... Y antes salía por aquí, ¿no? Ah, sí, ahora me lo está mostrando. Y nos quedamos en que tenemos que ir a recoger el traje y a visitar al barbero, ¿vale? Nada más por hoy. Podéis suscribiros, vuestros comentarios, vuestros likes, todo eso es gratuito y ayuda un montón. Y nos vemos en el siguiente capítulo de El Thaumaturge. Espero que os esté gustando. Hasta la próxima, cracks. ¿Salimos a la plaza? Ahí estamos. Iremos primero al barbero, ¿vale?